let's keep learning how to do life and friendships the way how the Lord sees them. But here's the thing: you want them to be with you, but they cannot be your everything.
Welcome to our podcast. We're so excited that now we have a podcast, you know? It's like, it's kind of cool and stuff. So I'm just super excited for what we're about to talk on this channel and different things. But we're here on our series, and it's a series on friendships and dating. So we're going to be covering different topics. But today we're going to be talking about friendships in different stages of life, and also like friendships between parents and sons and daughters. So how that looks like, you know, like you have that parent that's always like, tell me everything. I want to know everything about your life. And then you have the teenager that's also always like, I don't want to tell you anything. So I think there is a middle ground and a place that we can meet that's like, maybe I'm not going to tell 100% of my life, but there are things that should be shared. So we're going to discuss a little bit of everything of those topics today. And I have here with me Musy. I'm Giulia, by the way. I'm so sorry. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Giulia. I'm 22 years old. And we have Musy.
Yes, it's Musy, and I am in my late 40s.
I'm Bella, and I'm 16 years old, and the daughter of...
I was going to say, that's my beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
I'm Ash, a daughter.
Yes,
but, you know,
yeah.
almost. Because,
Adopted daughter, yes. Good. So, go for it.
No, I was just going to say, I think first to start, I would love to hear your thoughts on what friendship is for you, Bella. Like, you're young, you're 16, Bella is a people's person, so she has like we have this joke between us that every single place that Bella goes to, she makes a new friend. So literally you're like, okay, Bella, what did you do today? I made 10 new friends. It's like, okay, you know? So what is friendship for you? Like, why do you actually enjoy friendships? Like, what is it for you?
I think like connecting with people and just honestly like making them feel seen and heard is like something that the Lord has been teaching me about, because before I got saved, I like struggled with like self-hatred and just like low confidence. Like I hated myself. And so I really needed people to like look at me, and I had like a great community around me, but the people my age, it was really hard because I feel like a lot of them like were seeing me struggle, but I think they didn't know how to handle like, my friend is actually struggling with this thing. Like, I don't know how to walk them through this. So they just didn't. And I love them so much. And it was like it was honestly a learning time. I wouldn't have changed it. But now I walk through my friendships like differently. Like that has changed the way that I like
I've
treat
seen
people.
closely, like the way you do friendships. Before it was like, okay, I tell everything I tell anyone everything about my life, and now it's like, okay, actually no, I don't need to do that. Like I've seen the change on the way you do friendships after like a super huge encounter you have with the Lord.
Yeah, so I want to walk into things like, it's funny because I feel like even like our leaders in our life are always like, we don't like surface level conversations. We like will jump straight into like how's your family? Like, how's your heart? Like, what's your deepest secret? What's your biggest struggle? Like, that's what we always go straight into. And some people, it's really hard for them to do that. Like, but I think like navigating that through, like walking into friendships as a teenager is like a little bit harder. But
Why?
It's
Can
like,
you tell why is that harder?
I think because a lot of people, like a lot of people my age at least, like they've had a lot of friends who like you tell them a secret or you tell them something that's really important to you, and then like their friend will go tell someone else. It's the whole like, I'm going to tell you this, but you can't tell anyone. But because someone told me not to, like that, and then it just goes on and on and on, and then everyone knows. So that is like what I saw through every single one of my friendships. When
Do you
I
feel
was
like
with
before
my friends.
even that encounter that you had with the Lord and everything shift for you, even in your friendships, do you feel like you had true friends that you could trust him? That you're like, oh, I can actually go to you and you're not going to tell everything about my life to everyone else.
Yeah, I have one friend like that. Okay. But like I had one friend like that.
Okay. And then, but you saw the difference after, like, okay, I got saved. I changed my community and the friends and the way I do friendships. And now you can trust people in different levels.
Yeah, there's definitely, I'm even to this day, like I've been walking with the Lord for almost an entire year now, like fully like in a relationship with, and it's been beautiful, but like I've had to like relearn how to
Do friendships.
and how to make friends. And because I would just like full on jump in first, tell them everything, do all these things.
Yeah.
And that's not the best way to walk into a brand new friendship. Yeah. So I think even learning like just how to go into that with new friends, but I
think I can relate a lot to it because we joke that we share one brain.
Yeah, one brain cell.
And I remember like having your age. I'm 22. It's not like I'm that much older, but I remember like being a teenager. It's like it's so old, you know. I remember being like 12, 13, and I always had so many friends too. And I remember that actually what I came to realize was those friends were feeling a void inside of me that was not being filled by God.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, I actually used to share everything with them because I was not going to God first or to my parents first. I was going to my friends. And then that caused so many traumas because I was oversharing with them a bunch of different things that you're like, okay, you're actually not supposed to be sharing that because they're not going to be the ones that are going to be able to help me in this specific situation. And I just remember so many different moments that I was like, oh, I wished I would have gone to my parents instead of gone to my friends. And or even like to the Lord first of all of everything, because I'm like, oh, actually that friendship, the person might be amazing, but if that person takes the Lord's place in my life, then there's something wrong. Not saying with the person, with me, you know.
So I love how Bella was in 4th grade and we had just moved to a new town.
Was she cute?
She always was.
Not even a question.
And she went to school and she's like, I don't know anybody. And I was like, well, that's so, you're going to go and meet people and all that stuff. She went the first day and she came back. It's like, I have a new best friend already. And I was like, that's her personality right there. Day 1. And she already made a best friend. That was her wording. And so it's just like, just the extrovert. But it's like, you have to realize what she was sharing, like oversharing. It's like putting 2 10-year-olds in a car trying to drive a car and the other 10-year-old that is not sitting behind the wheel telling them what to do. So this is why you want people that sometimes have a little more life under their belt and that you feel like they're doing the right things so that I want to copy that model. Because right now it feels like peer-to-peer to give counsel, to give advice, and you they don't know a lot of some of the few people that have a few more years above you know.
Yeah.
And I also think what someone told me one time is they're like, well, there's obviously like levels of trust and friendship when you're building a relationship with someone. But someone told me they were like, you can trust someone in different ways. Like, I trust you to like tell her what's going on in my life and like for her to pour into me and pray over me and walk through things with me. But like I wouldn't trust her to fix my car because that'd be bad.
Love cars.
But like
I love cars. That's very hurtful.
But like there's like I have a friend who like I wouldn't really trust with like telling not because he's proven me wrong, but I would trust him to fix my car. So like I think there's like that's like different relationships, you know.
You guys probably know Jess or are gonna see her around. If you don't know, if you keep watching the videos, you're gonna see her. And I remember the day that she came to me and she told me I used to tell everyone everything about my life. And I remember the day that she came to me and she was like, that's not very smart. And she said, you have to trust people in different levels in different areas.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's stupid. Like no, like if you have my trust, you have my full trust. You know, the Lord will protect me. She's like, that's a lack of wisdom. And I was like, no.
Like, what?
And then it was so funny because I was like, and then I kind of got mad at her. I was like, are you saying that you don't trust me in all the areas? And she's like, no. I was like, what? I was like, but I'm trustworthy, you know? And she was like, if the Lord himself works to earn your trust, why people don't have to do that too? You know, I literally just opened my heart and I was like, okay, here it goes. Here's my life. Let people earn your trust,
Yeah.
you know? And I remember like a couple years later, I went to her and I was like, and now we have this joke that I went to her and it's like, I don't actually trust you in this area anymore. And we just laugh about it because I kind of learned that thing of like, okay, you gotta earn my trust too, you know? You gotta go little by little and start earning that place in my life. And then you start trusting people in different areas. And like, I trust Musy. I tell Musy a lot about my life and details and things. And it's like, okay, like I know that she can help me. And with Bella, I share so much of my life. But there are different things that I know that I'm like, if I go to Bella with this, like she's gonna pray with me, but I don't know if she's actually gonna be able to help me so much. So I go to Musy. I'm like, I know that Musy has experience in this, you know, like she's earned that in my life. And with Bella, like you've earned something in my life, like in different areas as well, you know. And I think that's so important. Like it changed my life and the way I do relationships and friendships because I'm like, okay, like you've earned this, you know, you've earned that place in my life.
Yep. You earn trust, and for any type of relationship, and you don't earn it in a day. You earn it in through different stuff of life that you walk through.
Yeah, and I think like even a practical step for that, it's like, I think it's so wise that you just said it's not literally just like, oh, okay, it's gonna take a month. No, it's gonna take like a few months, and you're gonna start earning trust, and situations are gonna come, and you're gonna see how people handle those situations, you know, in different areas. And I think that's a very practical way for us to apply this. It's like, okay, I went out with Bella for coffee, and then I saw her hanging out with a different friend, and the way she handled that, I was like, okay, I can start trusting her with that thing, you know. And I don't know if you have any topics like practical stuff that people can like, okay, you're earning my trust. What does that mean?
What does it look like?
Yeah, what does that look like?
Well, it you know, one of the things that was coming to mind was just like I would trust you to teach me Portuguese, but I won't trust you to teach me Chinese because it said
sayonara.
What? Is that Chinese? What is that? I thought that was Japanese. Japanese. But my point, not even Chinese. That is the whole point, guys, of what we're talking. You want somebody that has experience on the area so that they are not taking you to a place where you have not, or that you have seen them doing it better so they can guide you in that direction. That is exactly the point. And there were a couple of verses that I wanted to just like add. So where is it? Sorry. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. There are certain friends, and you Jess is one of them, right? And Ju, they were with us. As I just finished up a year ago, finished up a treatment going through cancer. And they were with us in a time of adversity. And those are the type of friends that you want to do life because they're going to stick with you. And those are the things that the Lord is talking about. It's not just superficial friends, but friends that are going to walk with you through hard times and that you are going to walk hard times with them as well. So let's keep learning how to do life and friendships the way how the Lord sees them. But here's the thing, you want them to be with you, but they cannot be your everything. The Lord has to be your everything.
Yeah, that's so good.
I because of some of the background that I grew up, I always wanted somebody that I can just like
cling to.
And get and the Lord was just had to teach me through a lot of her different friendships that it was like I'm the only one that can be everything. And that's the same thing, not only for friendship, but also in marriage. Like he has to be your source. Yeah. Then you don't become, I'm sorry the wording, but I'm like a leech that you just literally just pull life out of people because he is the only one that can fulfill that spot. Yeah. But what was the other thing that we said we wanted to mention too?
We just wanted to touch a little bit on like, okay, here we kind of gave our views on friendship, but even friendship between parents and their kids, you know, like just touching, because I know you went to a through a big shift on that. Like after last year, I went through a big shift after a year and a half ago now of like, I don't want to share anything. Let me live my life. Like the less you know, the better for me to like, okay, I've seen that video on Instagram. I don't know if you've seen it, but it talks about moms and it's like, I used to say, Mom, let me go, and I say, Mom, let me in, you know, like those cheesy things. And it was kind of like showing the importance, and even with age that you realize like, okay, I actually need my parents more than I realized. Like, can you share a little bit even of the shift that you felt?
Yeah. So
And
like,
then I will share the rejection too,
Oh my
because I need some
Yeah,
inner
sure,
healing during
sure.
during that time. Teenager parents, yes,
We'll
hold
schedule
on in there.
Sozo for you.
Yes,
no, well, so what happened was like I just like really fast kind of, because it's part of my testimony, is like I was struggling with a really bad eating disorder. I was depressed, and that's why I like left school. Like it was just too much for me to handle, and like I was keeping things from my parents. Like I wasn't telling them anything. Like I wasn't letting them in at all, or I would just like lie to them. But you know, now they know. But like, and then I went to a summer camp, got completely set free, came home, like called my parent. Well, I like called my dad later, but I like came home, and like when I first got home, I was like, Mom, I need to tell you everything, and like I need to just like pour this out, and so that she can like get. Like, you need to bring it once you, because I told my camp counselor everything. Like, she was the first person that ever, like, heard, that she was the first person I verbalized it to, that I was really struggling, and that, like, the Lord had set me free. Because, like, I got set free at the camp, but if I would have come home and not said it to anyone, 100% I probably would have gone right back into it.
Yeah.
But when I told someone, I literally felt that like the like weight being lifted off me. Like, yes, when I was set free, it like felt like everything had just fallen off. But like when I brought it into the light, like it changed everything.
It lost the power over you.
It did. And so so like I remember she told me, like, she was like, when you go home, like, and like Jeff was even like, if when you go home, like literally get in the car from the airport and like tell your mom what you did, or like what you've been doing. And like I think coming from a daughter's perspective, it was really hard, because like I wanted to tell her, but at the same time my heart kind of broke, because I was like, I don't want to tell her this and then her feel like it's her fault. Like why didn't I see it as a mother? So like I was wrestling with that, but I'm so happy that I ended up telling her, because that's like I couldn't have controlled how you felt, but I needed to tell you. And so I think that like in that, like that was just, I mean, when you have a breakthrough like that, like you need to tell the people closest to you. And I think like now walking in like a normal life, day-to-day life, like kind of off that like camp high, but still on fire, like you like still like you still, I mean, I still do things I'm like not proud of, but like I'm not doing anything crazy, but like if like I'll like go to Target and say something stupid, like, you know, like it's just things like that where I'm like, I'll just like tell my mom everything, you know, and there's certain things that like I'm gonna hold back, because I'm like, you're still my mom. Like I don't want to tell you every embarrassing thing I've ever done, but like at the same time, like relationship between parents is so important. It like has saved my friendship.
How did that feel for you? Like, what did you feel shift in your life? Like,
I just stopped feeling like, a kind of physical change. I stopped feeling tired all the time. After I started like sharing with people, I stopped like physically feeling tired,
because
I feel
you're
like
not
it was
protecting
weighing
anymore.
Exactly.
Like okay, I gotta hold that.
Like
back.
every time I was
share.
talking to my mom before I got saved, I feel like I was like, okay, I need to not let anything slip out. Like I can't have anything come out. And so it like, now I can like walk into the kitchen and tell my mom something, and it's like so normal. And so I think that like once you like let it out, like you'll just feel better. Also, it literally says like Ephesians 5:11 or 5:11, it says, have nothing to do with the fruitfulness deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. Like you're That's meant to bring them out. Like it loses its power once you confess it. Like that's why it's like repent. Like so I don't, like, it doesn't need to be some huge dramatic thing, but like it like just share with the people who you're closest with. Even if it's like sometimes it's really hard to share with like your mom directly on. That's why I had my mentor, I had Maddie with me, who I just got to tell her, like, if I'm sure like if you have people around you, like sometimes it's just hard to go to your mom, so you can tell it to someone else. They can tell you how to verbalize it, and then you can express it to your mom and your dad. But
I was trying to find a verse here and I couldn't find it, like the exact verse. Where is it in the Bible? But it has something like in between the lines of, hey, every authority on earth is established by God, and it represents God on earth. So it's so important to understand that, because it's like, oh, me going to you, of course I'll go to the Lord first, but me going to you is also a representation of an authority that's on your life, that's a covering over my life as well, you know? We talk so much about covering and like, hey, having someone like taking care of you, mentoring you and discipling you, but it's so like it really represents like God placed you in my life for a reason. If it's my parents, if it's my mentors, whatever it is, like God placed you in my life. So can you give us a quick like just how you felt even with that shift with Bella, you know?
Oh, it felt like a relief, because I could tell something was off. I just didn't know what it was.
They always know. Your parents know.
They know.
We may not know the details, but we know when things
Like,
are off
you
or
can
not.
hide things
like-
from
I
your
remember
parents.
my mom, she's so prophetic. She coming up with dreams like, oh yeah, like I had that dream about you and you're doing this, and that. I was like, Lord, why? Like,
I know.
I thought we had something going on here.
I did want to ask Bella, during that time that you were pulling back and you were not walking with the Lord, as a parent, I can speak to what, but what goes in your head? What do you think you could have told me that could have been helpful?
Like what do you mean?
Like, could have I done anything different that would have been helpful so that you could have opened yourself up with me? Or could have I done anything different?
Honestly, I think in my situation, like the Lord just needed to do it. Like there was nothing that you could have said or done, because you were always asking me like, are you eating? Are you doing this? Are you? And I was always like, no. I had Jessica and Giulia always asking me like, when was the last time you ate? You're losing a lot, like things like that. And I was always like no, like it doesn't. I had that block on me. Like honestly, like just praying for us. Like I'm sure you guys were praying for me, and then like seeing it come to pass that like I think there was nothing you could have said to me that would have.
But just keep reaching out, like keep being intentional with people so they don't feel alone. Could that be helpful for a parent thing?
I mean,
I don't know.
Honestly, like as a mom, I think I was more prone, I think is the right word, to open up to like Jess or Ju than I was to you, because like you're my mom. Like it was a part that I was like, yeah, I want to keep this hidden from you, but I was also like, I don't want to hurt you and like let you know that I'm struggling with this to the extent that I was struggling. So like, I feel like even in my, like I wasn't really opening up, but I feel like I would have picked someone other than you. Okay. And that's not like a thing because I didn't like, it's just like I would have picked someone else.
Yeah.
So like I think just like, 100%. Like it was shame, but it was also like, honestly, in my thing, it probably was pride. Like I was like, I don't want her. Like I was like,
I don't actually know that you're right.
Yeah,
you
no,
know?
that was no. Honestly,
right.
it's guys. I was like, I don't want her to know. I think a lot of it was I don't want her to know that she's right about this. So I'm just gonna keep doing it. To be honest, like I'm being
it's okay. That's what I want. I was asking
and I'm
questions.
Sure that's
that was
how a lot
problem.
of kids who my age feel like. So I don't know, like there's just like putting, I think you were totally speaking to Jessica and being like, can you check up on Bella? Like I remember at times I was at the mall and Jess was like, let's go walk. And I was like, frick. Like, and like at that conversation that we had, like still like 6 weeks, it wasn't anything crazy, but she like just shared with me like, I'm like not your mom, but I'm like really close to you, kind of like a mother figure. And she was like, I'm concerned. And that kind of hit me after that. But yeah, I think just surrounding yourself with people who like you can honestly be open and like who can hold you accountable for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But,
No, I was just gonna say, can you wrap it up, finalizing, just saying like, hey, how is that for you? Like, is there anything that you feel like you would have been done different? Even for the parents out there, they're like, my kid feels like there's a block. What do I do? How do I deal with that? You know, like they're not talking to me. And Bella said here, like probably nothing would have changed in her, like even if you kept trying. So for a parent that's going through that situation, one advice that you give them of like, keep praying or whatever it is.
Just keep it on your knees.
And surround them with good leaders.
And surround yourself with it. But I will keep encouraging people, like, keep creating a family environment, keep creating a place in the house that is fun, whatever that looks like. Every family is different. Maybe games and stuff we have, and that's been an amazing thing for us because we have a lot of young people that are around, and sometimes we were doing game nights and things like that so they can have fun, because that's what their soul needs. Fun is they're struggling to something and they don't even know what it is, because sometimes it's hormones, sometimes it's their heart, which is all real and is all valid. But you have to create it as much as you can. Create a safe place for them to want to be. But it's their choice at the end of the day. That's what the Lord had to. Yeah. And I did had a conversation with Bella and with Josh, and I think I already had it with my third one too. It's just like, you need to develop your own relationship with the Lord. You can't, you won't live out of our relationship. And so that was my prayer, like, God, get them. That was my prayer. Get them. I don't care how it looks like. Just get them.
I'm not a parent, but I heard someone say that one time, and you might tell me if it's right or wrong. But someone said, no, it's not bad. No. Someone said, like, parent, don't be afraid to also lose your place because someone else is going to your kid and your kid is sharing with someone else.
Oh, I didn't get, 100%. I'm like, I didn't care. I'm like, as long as they're talking, we were trying to figure it out, even with one of them was just like, if you don't find somebody to talk, we're going to pick up somebody for you. Because that's how loaded we felt that one of them was at a certain stage. And I was just like, and we were just like, Jesus help, Jesus help, Jesus help. And realizing that the Lord is even more after their hearts than any parent is, but still like, okay, Holy Spirit, what are you saying? When do they need a text? When do they need a call? When do they need, let's just go get for coffee. Not talking about anything serious. I have a tendency sometimes to be a little like, how are you doing? And just learn to have fun.
I love what you just said. It's like, you're not their savior, God is.
Yeah.
So you don't have to put that burden on your shoulder of like, okay, if I don't do enough, if I don't blah, 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 like my kid's not going to get saved or my kid's not going to come back to the Lord. Like, no, like trust the Lord with it.
Yeah. I also think that leaders, like, if you just like when my mom was sick, when I was at my worst, she would literally just come over and just like sit in my bed and like watch a movie with me. And it's like, then that, like, just her being here and not constantly being like, how are you? Like, how are you feeling right now? Like, that was what I needed the most, was just someone that I was like, hey, if she can just sit with me when I'm at my worst, she can hear, like, I can build that trust. And also, like, if you're looking for good leaders or friends, young adults,
move to Franklin, Tennessee.
Yeah, we got a group. But
I hope you guys learned that the Lord is speaking to you. We are praying for you. The Lord speak to you through these videos that we're going to be having here. So thank you so much for watching. Keep posted. Keep just tracking the channel. We'll post more videos. But thank you so much. And thank you for watching.